It's Auto Group Cubs Pregame Live.
Javier Baez makes his long-anticipated MLB debut. Cubs open a 3-game set in Colorado. Cubs and Rockies from Coors Field coming up on Comcast Sportsnet Plus. Hello, welcome to Cubs Pregame Live, presented by the Fields Auto Group. He is Todd Hollandsworth, 1996 National League Rookie of the Year. I'm David Kaplan. When I say that, it's got to bring back some memories of your debut as a big leaguer. Javy Baez, what is he feeling right now?
Oh, he's anxious. He's ready to get this probably out of the way. He wants to play. He wants to get it done. He wants to get his career moving in the right direction. You know, you get so many thoughts that run through your mind on a day like today, what it took to get here, coaches, players, probably some experiences he's had in the minor leagues. But he's here. He's arrived now. And, you know, after that first at-bat, he gets those nerves out of the way. It's going to be doing your job. It's going to be being productive and filling the bill. I mean, that's just it. I think we expect great things. But I'm trying to temper that just a little bit. I'm trying to put realistic expectations on him tonight. And they got him in the 2-hole tonight, which is going to be an awful lot of fun. He's going to have to be in the game mentally. So we'll see how he produces. But I do expect big things.
Do you believe there are unreal expectations by the fan base being put on him? Because in today's social media world with Twitter and Facebook and instantaneous this and that, if he struggles the first 2 or 3 games, you know people will be tweeting the nonsense.
Oh, absolutely. There's no doubt about it. I mean, today's player has to come up with a completely different set of circumstances than me or anybody, 10 years before me ever had to come up with. A lot of pressure. And again, let's remember, the next 2 months are not going to define this young man. If he struggles, so what? I mean, we've got a great example. We watched Anthony Rizzo turn into an all-star first baseman. He struggled mightily as a San Diego Padre the first time he was called up. So, again, we can't predict the future. Certainly we know he's talented. Certainly we know he's got great athleticism, great power. I expect to see it. He's been swinging the bat really, really well. That's one thing that I expect to transition. The league's going to adjust to him. He's going to have his challenges, and he's going to make some mistakes along the way. But now's a great time to get him up here.
All right, we head out to Coors Field. Bring in our CSN Chicago.com beat writer. He is our Cubs insider. He's Patrick Mooney. Let's start with Javier Baez. You're there. We're here. What is the air of anticipation like around the club?
Well, Cap, I think the overall reaction would be about time. You know, we were at Dodger Stadium over the weekend where Anthony Rizzo and Starlin Castro were kind of talking about, when is this guy going to get up here? And Javi, that kind of went through back channels. Javi heard all about that, and he said, it's great that these guys are welcoming me here. And it was kind of interesting just looking across this clubhouse, seeing him sitting at a table, with Alcantara, Starlin, Baez, Junior Lake, Wellington Castillo, Pedro Strop. So, we've been talking about these guys for a long time, and, now it's here, and let's kind of see what he can do.
Patrick, Baez, he's going to be in the 2 spot in the lineup tonight. I didn't see that one coming. What are the thoughts behind that here at Coors Field tonight?
Well, yeah, I think everyone knows this is probably the best hitting environment for him to just kind of throw him out there and see what he can do. Now, having said that, I do think this is an aggressive swinger. This is a guy that, as he said today, I always swing big, I always swing hard. So there are going to be times where it looks like he's out of control, but I think the Cubs are looking at this as, not a game here at Coors Field. They're looking at this as the next 8 weeks, and as Theo Epstein said today, he'll take this experience and kind of reflect on it over the winter, because as the Cubs saw with Starlin Castro and Anthony Rizzo, it's really difficult to make in-season adjustments, and so he'll kind of go back home with this and really kind of attack 2015, where the Cubs are going to be counting on him, to be a big part of this lineup.
Patrick, when you look at Javy Baez coming up and now the time is here, you're seeing light at the end of the tunnel, do you think most around the club, not the fan base, most around the club are surprised that he was called up? Because Rick Renteria on Saturday morning said, look, relax, I don't know when it's going to happen, but we're not in any hurry.
Yeah, Cap, I think at this point, the guys in the clubhouse, feel like they've been talking about it forever, and Rizzo was joking around, well, what are you guys going to write about next? And of course, we're asking about Chris Bryant and, when he's going to get here and stuff like that. So, I do think there is some optimism in the clubhouse. I think this will bring a burst of energy. It's a long season. These guys have been at this since February. There isn't really much of an off season anymore. So you bring in a talented guy like this, I think it will be a shot of adrenaline to a last place team that's kind of, might need that to get to the finish line here.
Patrick, I think there's about a million reasons why now is the perfect time, but one is key. The team's playing pretty well right now. You've got 5 hitters in the lineup hitting over 300 over the last week, and this team's playing good ball. They just took 2 or 3 in Los Angeles, and it made some sense to me as to why now happened.
Yeah, exactly, Hal. I think the Cubs kind of looked at all those factors. Okay.
All right, I think we lost Patrick. Patrick, thank you for your time. We will continue previewing this game. Thank you again to Patrick Mooney in Colorado. Cubs and Rockies, Javy Baez makes his debut. Now, one of the people that has worked with Baez in the minors is Manny Ramirez. I had a chance to catch up with Manny being Manny earlier today and asked him his impressions of working with a 21-year-old prospect.
Javy's a special player. I never see anybody like Javy. He got special power. He got good hands. He could run. He's a special kid. He worked hard. He loved the game. He got a big heart. And I think the Cubs fans, they're going to love him. He's a special player and a special guy. The way, he go about his business, he always come early. He's always in the cage. He's always taking ground balls. He's a professional, man.
All right, Manny Ramirez, the day he was hired, I remember I went, who? Is it another Manny Ramirez? Because it can't be that Manny Ramirez.
That's right.
And the players have raved about what he does working with them. What's your takeaway?
Well, and again, I was behind the Manny move all along. I thought it was a good idea. Now, again, I know that there's been issues, and there's certainly side stories and different things that happen. But, again, you could pull the plug any time if it didn't work out with Manny. He's a guy who knows how to drive in runs. Say what you will about the guy. I watched it throughout my career. One of the best hitters, one of the best situational hitters that I ever watched. And, again, I'm not going to get into cause and effect or why it happened the way that it did. But Manny loves the game of hitting, loves the game of baseball, knows hitting inside and out. And I thought it's a great mind. If he's willing to do this and he's willing to express himself, and he has turned over that new leaf that everybody says he did, I thought this was a good hire. Again, if it didn't work, you pull it right away. But so far, so good. I mean, it is interesting that the Baez heating up here in AAA kind of corresponds with Manny coming on board.
All right, now let's talk about Kris Bryant and Jorge Soler. We have both maintained that they're ready to play at this level. I expect to see Soler in September. I don't expect to see Kris Bryant until late April.
Oh, it makes some sense. I mean, I understand it. Again, that's the issues that are out of your and I control. It's certainly not out of our wish list or our desire. I mean, what you see is what you get, and I guess that's what, what I see from all 3 of these guys. Baez is here because he's proven himself at the minor league level, and I've said this before, even with Bryant, what more does he have to do to really open up your eyes? He's got big-time power. He's got the approach. He's got some discipline. Sure, he's going to strike out a little bit. Sure, he's going to make some mistakes on defense. But, I mean, you're watching a Cubs team right now that is struggling. It's in 5th place in the National League Central, is probably not going anywhere. I can still make the argument that he belongs up here, and you could bring him up now, but of course I don't have to deal with the clock and arbitration numbers or an agent whose name is Scott Boras. All that being said, if you brought him up here now, you could at least get these guys ready. The biggest leap they're going to take, Cap, as I've told you many times, is the one from AAA to the big leagues. The pitching and the velocity doesn't change a whole lot. The bullpens do change, but you've got the stadium factor. They've been playing in AAA stadiums. Now you're in Coors Field tonight. Place holds 60,000 people practically. It's that third deck effect, and you got to get past it.
So when he takes the field tonight, bats in the first inning, that as a visitor lets him relax. Now he takes the field at second base. Nervous or let's go, baby?
Well, I think he settles in. Let me put it this way. Maybe the fans will get it. I think when he makes his debut at Wrigley, it's going to be a bigger deal than this tonight. I think being on the road was also a great decision. Obviously, they're in Coors Field, but you're away from here. We know the buzz. We know it's Christmas morning in August. We've talked about it all day long, how excited we are to see the future of the Cubs. He represents more than the number 9 that he's going to wear on his back, more than the performance or the big home runs. He is the vision for what this organization is supposed to be next year, maybe the year after that, with the hope and everything else that goes into that. So again, he embodies more than just, big-time raw power or a Gary Sheffield comparison. For me, he embodies what we hope this organization to ultimately be in a year or two.
All right, let's take a look at today's pitching matchup. It's a rematch of last Wednesday's game at Wrigley. Travis Wood against Brett Anderson. Wood had a season-high 11 strikeouts in that game, but allowed 4 earned on 8 hits in 6 innings. Got a no decision, and the Rockies walked away with a victory.
Well, your Coors Field, again, I think this could be a different game. Both these guys had pretty good success. And we talk about Travis at the beginning of his outing right there, pitches up in the strike zone. Listen, that's been kind of his issue this year, making some mistakes in key spots. And when you see these pitches lash, they're the ones that are up in the strike zone. Now, he did settle down. After giving up 3 in the first 2 innings, he got into a great rhythm. He went on 7, I think he struck out 7 of the next 9. Balls were down in the strike zone. He was attacking, and he looked great. He looked like the Travis Wood that we saw so many times last year. Key pitching at altitude. If the breaking ball's not there, abandon it. Abandon ship, get to the changeup, switch things up. Changing speeds at altitude is so much more valuable than trying to lean on your secondary pitches or your slider and your curveball. So, again, look for that early in the ballgame. We'll see what ends up happening tonight. But, again, he's got to be aggressive. He cannot make mistakes up in the zone or he will pay.
All right, let's take a look at the Rockies starter. He is Brett Anderson. He allowed 11 hits in 7 innings last week against Cubs. Just 2 earned runs, helped them. 9 strikeouts, no walks. The guy was a pretty good pitcher before coming to Colorado as well in Oakland.
You saw that pitch right there. That slurve, I thought, was such a big key to his outing last time. He attacked early with the fastball, set the stage, and then he brought that slurve out the 3rd through the 6th inning. And I'll tell you what, the Cubs had a hard time dealing with it. I'm going to be curious tonight to see if he does it as much. Again, pitching at altitude. This team, this Rockies team, has lost 4 in a row. They're not playing very good baseball. They haven't been swinging the bats well. So he feels as though he's in that role of stopper. So look for him to be aggressive tonight. He wants to go long and give this team innings as well. But I think there's a real opportunity knowing that the Cubs just saw him.
All right, time now for the Comcast Business Edge as we look at Nolan Arenado's home and away splits. Having one of the stranger seasons you can imagine. He's hitting 43 points lower at Coors. But all 9 of his home runs have come in Denver. And 30 of his 40 RBIs are at home. Comcast Business Edge is sports at the speed of business. You played there for a number of years. Is Coors really that big of a difference, an edge, or is it a mental, statistical fluke?
No, it's a big edge. There's no doubt about it. The thing that you really deal with as a player there is not loving, playing at altitude or knowing that you're going to do well or that it's the greatest place on earth to hit. It's going out on the road. There's always an awareness. Most of us, all of us who have come through there, I came from another organization. I came from LA. I had an awareness. I knew that they talked about it all the time. Guys, let's make sure our splits aren't, you're hitting 400 at home and hitting 200 on the road and you're a 300 hitter and you believe that about yourself. You've got to do it on the road as well. The problem that you have is that it kind of builds. Coors Field saves you. So you've got to beat that lapse. When you go out on the road and you don't do well, you come back home and you start to do great again. And then that's when you fall into the pattern. You've got to really bear down and make sure that you put together good at-bats on the road. That breaking ball really is the kicker, though, because at altitude, it's not there as much. And then as soon as you leave, it's everywhere.
Well, you don't get as much bite.
Right.
Cubs pregame live presented by the Fields Auto Group, our great corporate partners. And we are, let's say 17, about 27 minutes. There you go. Good guess by me. PapaJohns.com. Get your pizza there as your dinner and watch that guy make his big league debut.
Cubs Pregame Live is presented by Fields Auto Group. Fields matters because you matter. See Fields first. FieldsAuto.com.
Fields has a level of integrity second to no other car dealer I've ever dealt with.
Service is over the top. I mean, I've never had a car dealership that is so easy to work with.
It's what we do, including our amenities program, which is absolutely free and includes free car washes and loaners. Fields matters because you matter.
The process of buying a car here at Fields is so easy. It's just easy.
For Fields Auto Group locations, go to FieldsAuto.com.
Hi, can I help you?
I'm looking for a phone plan. It has to be a great one, and I don't compromise.
Okay, how about 10 gigs of data to share, unlimited talk and text, and for a family of 4, it's $160 a month.
Wow, sounds like a great deal. So, I'm getting exactly what I want then.
Appears so.
Now, I'm not too sure what to do with my arms right now, because this is where I usually start throwing things.
Oh, that's terrifying.
AT&T's best ever family pricing. For instance, a family of 4 gets 10 gigs of data with unlimited talk and text for $160 a month.
At Domino's, we believe a great pizza needs great cheese. That's why we have experts. Award-winning Wisconsin cheese experts, Mark and Dean. Order 2 medium, 2 topping Domino's pizzas for only $5.99 each and taste the cheese expertise.
This Cubs injury report is brought to you by ATI Physical Therapy. Taking physical therapy to a higher level. Ask your doctor about ATI Physical Therapy. Get there.
When you run a business, you can't settle for slow. That's why I always choose the fastest intern, the fastest printer, the fastest lunch, Turkey Club, fastest pencil sharpener, the fastest elevator, the fastest speed dial, the fastest office plant. So why wouldn't I choose the fastest Wi-Fi? I would.
Switch to Comcast Business Internet and get the fastest Wi-Fi included. Comcast Business, built for business.
Angie posts, ugh, this stupid AC in this stupid car. It only works on high. Hang tight, Angie, because the Honda Summer Clearance event is here. This Honda CR-V has awesome standard features like a rear view camera and Bluetooth. Want to borrow my brush? Thanks. Keep it.
Hurry in to get a great deal on a Honda, named Most Trusted Brand by KBB.com. The Honda Summer Clearance event is on now at your Honda dealer.
Cubs taking on the Rockies, and it's the debut of phenom Javier Baez. Before tonight's game, Baez met with the media, talked about getting the news that he was moving up to the big leagues.
I was sleeping, and I was like, are you serious, okay? And then I realized I was really going to the big leagues, so I got really excited. Called my mom, told my brother, and everybody started jumping around and crying. My brother's here. My mom's flying out today. They almost here, so hopefully they make it.
All right, Cubs pregame live presented by the Fields Auto Group. Let's take a look at the Cubs lineup. Baez is hitting second in the lineup. And you like where he's at. Arismendi Alcantara will lead things off. Rizzo, Castro, Ruggiano, Valbuena, Castillo, Jr. Lake is in the left, scuffling at 215, and Travis Wood.
Well, I like the lineup again. This is Coors Field. It brings everybody into play, your hot hitters and your cold hitters. But I'll say this, the Cubs have been swinging those bats. They went through L.A. They've been swinging it well. You've got Rizzo, Castro, Alcantara. I mean, all these guys are just really doing a nice job. Luis Valbuena, three of those guys hitting over 300, as I said, over the last 7 games. They've been playing good baseball. I love the station-to-station stuff. That really does play at Coors Field. So, again, good athletes in there tonight. Hopefully they're able to put together better at-bats. They did get the hits against Anderson. They just weren't able to build innings, but it's a little bit of a different game at Coors Field. So hopefully they're aggressive. They go first to third. Think 2 out of the box just about every time you get up there.
Let's take a look at the Rockies lineup as Cubs and Rocks will tee it up at 7:40. It's Blackman. You've got Arenado, who's a factor in there. Justin Morneau hitting 309. Drew Stubbs brings speed. And Brett Anderson, not a hitting pitcher, but certainly will give the Cubs some challenge.
Well, this has been a nightmare season for the Colorado Rockies. They are thrilled to be home. They've gone a week without hitting a home run. I mean, this is a team in a lineup right now that is just looking to get healthy. And again, that factor that I just kind of explained to you a couple seconds ago about going out on the road and not scoring runs and struggling. I think it's 2.8 runs over the last 7 ball games, which just doesn't get it done. What happens to hitters at altitude is that you're home, you take a deep breath, and you say, we're back to the cozy confines here. This is what we love at Coors Field. So, again, you've got to be aware of that tonight. So even if they're slumping and the numbers aren't in their favor tonight, you still got to pitch carefully there.
All right, with Javy Baez making his Cubs debut, we figured we would look at some of the Cubs debuts by a pair of young stars on the team. May of 2010, Starlin Castro made his MLB debut. He made history hitting a home run in his first at-bat. And a triple later in the game, driving in 6, the most by a player making his MLB debut in history. How about that?
Good stuff.
In Cincinnati, I won't forget it, Friday night.
Well, you see the approach right there. What I love to see from Starlin, which, I mean, again, you saw the power, but it was the power the other way. He took you know what's so interesting? It reminds me of the Futures game home run that Baez hit. Took a hanging curveball out to right field. Stayed on it, stayed through it. Good thoughts. That's what you want to do when you get up here. Your off-field is always going to be there, but when you do that at the beginning, they don't know how you're going to be pitched. I'll tell you, I mean, odds are they're going to stay away from him until they see it. They know that he's got ridiculous power. They're not going to challenge him out over the plate and see how far he's going to hit one. They're probably going to stay away from him most of the night.
All right, Anthony Rizzo had already played in the majors with the Padres, but in June 2012, the Cubs called him back up to the big leagues. And Rizzo showed his strong defense and went 2 for 4 with a double against the New York Mets with Randy Wells, the ex-Cub, pitching at that point. So, do you look back on these debuts pretty interesting to see where these guys are now.
Well, I'll tell you what's even more interesting is looking at Anthony's swing back then, looking at his swing today, how open he is, and
look how skinny Starlin was.
Oh, look how skinny Anthony is. Don't kid yourself. I mean, both these guys, well, they grew, that's just it. They grew up in front of your eyes, and I think that's what fans will tell you. I mean, that's the relationship that builds, is that you watch much like your kids. I tell you all the time, you see my kids now, they're like 3 or 4 inches taller because you haven't seen them in a few months.
All right, do you remember what you did in your first career start?
My first career start, I did. I had a nice day. Well, it was Ramon Martinez's no-hitter, so that's not hard to forget. I was a non-factor, and I just kind of did my job.
What did you do offensively?
I had a 3 for 4 night.
That's exactly correct. 3 for 4, scored 2, a double, 2 RBIs, and you made 4 putouts in a no-hitter.
I'll tell you what, one of those putouts is probably the most meaningful. It's more important than the 3 for 4. I think we won that game pretty convincingly, but I ran one down. I think it was the 7th or 8th inning. Ramon off Terry Pendleton's bat. Terry launched one into the gap, and I ran it down right at the wall, and it was a pretty nice catch. I mean, again, I had extra energy and a lot of things going in my favor, but I was able to bring it in, and Ramon got the no-hitter.
How about that? Pretty good way to start your big league career. Coming up, we've got Holly's keys to the Cubs and our key performers. That's next. Cubs Pregame Live, presented by our great partners at the Fields Auto Group.
It's on. The games are on. The coverage is on. The action is on the all-new SEC network. And it's all on Xfinity, where you get the most live college football, including the Pac-12 networks, the Big Ten network, and ESPN Goal Line, plus the X1 Sports app to experience it all like never before. You can't get all this with DirecTV. Enjoy the all-new SEC network on TV and on the go with Watch ESPN starting August 14th. On Xfinity, your home for the most live sports.
Refreshment calls, Coors Light answers.
Anybody else?
Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
At Lexus, we pursue groundbreaking advances in safety by taking our eyes off the road and focusing on drivers. Real people, real distractions, without real consequences. The result? Our gold standard of safety. And the only place you'll find it is at the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event. Lease the 2015 RX 350 for $399 a month for 27 months, and we'll make your first month's payment. See your Lexus dealer.
Man, these cheesy bread dogs are incredible.
Real good.
The cheese is baked right into the bun.
You know, in this case, it really is what's on the outside that counts.
Maybe that phrase, it's what's on the inside that counts, isn't true.
I mean, I've only been judging books by their covers.
Really?
I only read the cover.
Oh, you don't read what's inside?
No, I could read 2, 3 covers. Cover to cover. Cover and cover.
Count on the cheesy goodness of the new Cheesy Bread Dogs. They're the perfect match for any of our 25 shakes. This is how you Sonic.
Did you know a 10-second test could help your business avoid hours of delay caused by slow internet from the phone company? That's enough time to record a memo.
Idea for sales giveaway.
Return a call. Sign a contract. Pick a tie. Take a break with Mr. Duck. Practice up for the business trip. Fly to Florida. Win an award. Close a deal. Hire an intern. And still have time to spare.
Go to ComcastBusiness.com/check-your-speed. If we can't offer faster speeds or save you money, we'll give you $150. Comcast Business. Built for business.
Welcome back to our Cubs Pregame Live, brought to you by the Fields Auto Group, and they sponsor our keys to the game. Take it away, Holly.
All right, change can be good. I'm kind of honing in on Travis Wood here. I talked about it a little bit. That changeup, he only uses it about 7% of the time. I'm kind of hoping to see it a little bit more tonight. We'll see. Again, if that secondary stuff works, I'm talking about a slider's curveball. I mean, again, he always leads with the fastball. He'll tell you the fastball command. I guess in my mind, it really does just come down to secondary pitches. I'm assuming he's going to be throwing his fastball for strikes, but when you go to those secondary pitches, they've got to be down, and in my mind, the changeup's always been better at altitude than the breaking ball. So again, maybe we see it a little bit more tonight, so let's keep our eye on that one. Number 2, running on all cylinders. The team's been playing great baseball. I've talked about it. You've got guys that are swinging the bats well. You saw in the Los Angeles series how good they were going first to third, taking advantage of extra bases. Coors Field is that field. Everybody thinks that Coors Field's about home runs, the ball flying out all over the place. Well, let me tell you something. The greatest advantage, being a former Rocky as well, is this: aggressive mentality out of the box. Great on the base paths. It's how you win ball games there. You're thinking first to third on everything. You're thinking double as soon as you hit the baseball and taking that extra base. The team that does that best almost always wins. It's a huge outfield covered by 3 men. I mean, you hit a ball in the gap, doesn't even have to get to the wall. You should be standing on second base if the outfielder actually takes a drop step. So again, there's just huge advantages to obviously hitting there, and that's one of them. So keep running on all cylinders. And well, Christmas in August. I mean, it really just kind of comes down to Javy Baez. Pretty excited about him being up tonight, and his performance in the 2-hole is going to be key. I mean, we'll keep an eye on him. Obviously, we'll be talking about it in the post-game show. It's clearly going to be a key.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how he does, how he battles the nerves. Our key performers. You won the last time. You're 3 up for the season. You get to go first.
Rizzo got me Baez. Well, I've been talking about it all season long. I find it with great privilege that I accept the opportunity to take Javy Baez in his opener, his big league debut.
All right, he beat me to it. So he gets Baez. I'm going to go Anthony Rizzo. I think Rizzo's going to have a big night. I think he's going to hit one out of the ballpark. And hopefully Javy Baez has a very memorable Cubs debut, and it leads to a Cubs victory tonight. Should be a lot of fun.
That will be the exciting part about it. This is a real good opportunity for him, and I think this is the day that I think Cubs fans have been waiting for.
All right, we'll see exactly what happens tonight. Don't forget, we'll have the post-game show for you, and we will talk all about Javy's debut. We'll have Rick Renteria. We'll have Travis Wood's pitching matchup against Brett Anderson. When you look back on your debut, the first time you stepped in the batter's box, terrified or what? Was it out of body?
Absolutely terrified. Overwhelmed. I mean, just too many things going on in my mind. I mean, it is. I mean, that's just it. I mean, for me, it was a pinch hit the first time I did it. It was down in Florida. But again, I mean, everything that led up to that moment, from putting my first pair of big league shoes on to rubbing elbows with Tim Wallachs of the world and the Brett Butlers and all those
Tim Wallach the one who said to you, rookies are meant to be seen, not heard?
Absolutely right.
Don't say anything.
Yeah, well, that's just it. He just wanted me to play. He didn't want me to worry about, speaking to the media and handling all that other stuff. He just wanted me to play my game. And he wanted to make it as easy as he could. Hopefully they will protect Baez the same way.
All right. See what happens tonight. Thanks for watching. Cubs Pregame Live, presented by the Fields Auto Group. We'll see you on the postgame show. Cubs and Rockies are next. Tell your friends. Javy Baez debut on CSN+.
Welcome to the new Fields Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram in Glenview.
It's our summer clearance event, and it's time for you to make your move to this incredible facility.
You want to go there. It's a fun thing to do. It's warm, and it's welcoming, and it's not intimidating, and it's nice.
Our new home is designed to deliver a superior level of customer service.
Plus, every new vehicle has a special celebration price during our summer clearance event.
See Fields first, the all-new Fields Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram at the Glen in Glenview.
It's on. The games are on. The coverage is on. The action is on the all-new SEC network. And it's all on Xfinity, where you get the most live college football, including the Pac-12 networks, the Big Ten network, and ESPN Goal Line, plus the X1 Sports app to experience it all like never before. You can't get all this with DirecTV. Enjoy the all-new SEC network on TV and on the go with Watch ESPN starting August 14th. On Xfinity, your home for the most live sports.
So, what's this?
Check it out. I just saved 15% on car insurance in 15 minutes, so I took a selfie to show everyone how happy I am.
Really? Because Esurance saved me money in half that time. Can I?
Oh, you can be in it. No need to photobomb me. Hash brown, selfie.
Yeah, that's not how it works.
15 minutes for a quote isn't how it works anymore. Start with a quote from Esurance and you could save money on car insurance in half the time. Welcome to the modern world. Esurance, backed by Allstate. Click or call.
Jack Link's Jerky presents Hangry Moments.
So that's the vendor request form. We got a few changes from last year.
It's the second time this week, Dan.
I'm doing the best I can, Pete.
Jack Link's Jerky, the protein-packed way to feed your wild side.
Angie posts, ugh, this stupid AC in this stupid car. It only works on high. Hang tight, Angie, because the Honda Summer Clearance event is here. This Honda CR-V has awesome standard features, like a rear-view camera and Bluetooth. Want to borrow my brush? Thanks. keep it.
Hurry in to get a great deal on a Honda, named most trusted brand by KBB.com. The Honda Summer Clearance event is on now at your Honda dealer.
The web is full of opinions and sources.
When it comes to the Cubs, you can bet your bleacher seats CSNChicago.com is bringing you the facts. Patrick Mooney takes you inside the locker room and front office. Live post-game streams give you an instant reaction from Wrigley. Cubs Pulse and In-Game Live show you the stats and what's trending on the north side. From Cubs fans, for Cubs fans, the Cubs page on CSNChicago.com.
The Cubs' top prospect has arrived. Cubs and Rockies are next. From the thin air of Denver, Colorado, we're set for Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet Plus. Javier Baez makes his major league debut as the Cubs and Rockies play Game 1 of a 3-game series. Should be a fun one tonight, along with Jim DeShays. I'm Len Casper. I mentioned prospect, but Javier Baez is no longer a prospect. He's a big leaguer.
He's a big leaguer. He's got a couple months now to settle in. It's been an adjustment for him as he's progressed to each level. So great opportunity here to get his feet wet and settle in at the big league level. That's exactly what happened at AAA Iowa. He struggled early, but then really turned things around. Ultimately hitting .260 with 23 home runs, drove in 80. Big slugging numbers for Baez, especially of late, batting .300, 12 home runs since the beginning of July.
So he's going to bat second and play second. Let's not forget about his double play partner. It'll be fun to see these two guys play together.
Well, Javy Baez playing second because Starlin Castro's entrenched at shortstop, having a very nice year. He'd gone through a down period in the month of July, but turned it around recently. Very good in that series at Dodger Stadium with 7 out of 12. Was given Sunday off, came off the bench, and got a big pinch hit. He's been really good here at Coors Field in his career. So, yes, indeed, it's going to be fun to watch these two young guys in the middle of the diamond.
Yeah, Rockies really banged up, but they score a lot of runs here at Coors Field. And we've got a rematch from last week. Left-handers on the mound. Travis Wood, 11 strikeouts last Wednesday. He and Brett Anderson each got a no decision. We'll have Cubs baseball from Denver next.
Hi, can I help you?
I'm looking for a phone plan. It has to be a great one, and I don't compromise.
Okay, how about 10 gigs of data to share, unlimited talk and text, and for a family of 4, it's $160 a month?
Wow, sounds like a great deal. So, I'm getting exactly what I want then.
Appears so.
Now, I'm not too sure what to do with my arms right now, because this is where I usually start throwing things.
Oh, that's terrifying.
AT&T's best ever family pricing. For instance, a family of 4 gets 10 gigs of data with unlimited talk and text for $160 a month.
This summer,
who's gonna stop me?
Time is our enemy, and speed is our friend. You're up.
I'm on it.
Saving the world is what we do.
During the Ford Summer Spectacular, get 0% financing for 72 months on almost every 2014 Ford car. That's interest-free financing for 6 full years.
Hey, Marie.
Hey, Rod.
How do you get your lawn to stay, I don't know, green?
Paint. I'm kidding. Follow me.
Rodman, how you doing? Hey, Jimmy.
First off, make sure you're not cutting the grass too short. It doesn't let the roots grow.
Okay.
Hot Rod, what's up?
Nicole.
We also need fertilizer with weed control during this time of year.
No Rod, Father. Hey, Tom.
I'm gonna grab you a spreader.
Okay. Hey, Rod. Stir.
He's new.
Oh. Getting help at Ace is like going to your neighbor.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Hi, I'm David Kaplan, back in our downtown Chicago studios. We'll get you out to Coors Field in a few minutes. First, look at the top stories in the Chicago sports world today. Bears have suspended tight end Martellus Bennett indefinitely, fined him an undisclosed amount for conduct detrimental to the team, which included this altercation with top draft pick Kyle Fuller at training camp yesterday. It is unknown if Bennett will be available for Friday's preseason opener. As part of the suspension, he has been sent home.
I want you to know that we're in communication with Marty. I'll be talking with him today. We got a plan and a process in place, and as I told the team today, we love him. He works hard, He loves football. He's a good father, and we want to get him back as soon as we can, and we'll go through this process, and when the time is right, he'll be back.
All right, first pitch is next from Denver. Stick around after the game tonight. We'll have full reaction from Todd Hollingsworth and me on Javier Baez's Major League debut. Then Pat Boyle, Mark Shanowski have Sportsnet Central, including reaction from the Cubs locker room and highlights from the White Sox and the Rangers at U.S. Cellular. That is going to put a ribbon on it from here. I will see you after the game. The debut of Javier Baez is next from Coors Field. Cubs and Rockies, and you can only get it on CSN Plus. Tell your friends.
Angie posts, ugh, this stupid AC in this stupid car. It only works on high. Hang tight, Angie, because the Honda Summer Clearance event is here. This Honda CR-V has awesome standard features like a rear view camera and Bluetooth. Want to borrow my brush? Thanks. Keep it.
Hurry in to get a great deal on a Honda, named most trusted brand by KBB.com. The Honda Summer Clearance event is on now at your Honda dealer.
It all comes down to this. Danny Walker at the plate. Bottom of the ninth, 2 outs.
Come on, Danny, this is it.
Walker digs in.
Really wish I could finish this, but I'm so tired. Gotta get up in a few hours.
Stream your favorite movies with UVerse high-speed internet. With AT&T, the UVerse revolves around you.
Coors Light meets a blend of natural citrus flavors. Squeeze the most out of summer. New Coors Light Summer Brew.
At Domino's, we believe a great pizza needs great cheese. That's why we have experts. Award-winning Wisconsin cheese experts, Mark and Dean. Order 2 medium, 2-topping Domino's pizzas for only $5.99 each and taste the cheese expertise.
The web is full of opinions and sources.
When it comes to the Cubs, you can bet your bleacher seats. CSNChicago.com is bringing you the facts. Patrick Mooney takes you inside the locker room and front office. Live post-game streams give you an instant reaction from Wrigley. Cubs Pulse and In-Game Live show you the stats and what's trending on the north side. From Cubs fans, for Cubs fans, the Cubs page on CSNChicago.com.
Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, through it all. AT&T UVerse. Find out what's possible with AT&T. Call 1-800-PIC-ATT. Mobilizing your world. Ford. Check out America's freshest lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online, only at southwest.com.
Beautiful night here in Denver. 21-year-old Javier Baez making his Major League debut tonight. Looks pretty calm. Signed some autographs as well. How about the weather? 81 degrees about, hour and a half ago or so. Then it really cooled off, got down to 67, back up to 74 with blue skies above.
Pretty night to play baseball. Big night for Baez, big night for the Cubs as this first of what we expect to be many talented young players come to the big leagues in the next couple of years, and he's going to get an opportunity here to show what he can do over the next couple of months.
Let's get the Cubs Southwest starting lineup. It'll be a couple of rookies at the top. Arizmendi, Alcantara in the leadoff spot. Baez at second. And batting second, Rizzo, Castro, Ruggiano, and Valbuena in the middle. Wellington Castillo, the catcher. Junior Lake, 3 hits in his Major League debut in this ballpark last year. And Travis Wood, the pitcher, will hit ninth.
Key defense for the Rockies tonight. Big outfield to cover here. Blackman, Stubbs, Barnes will patrol the outfield for the Rockies. Arenado and Rutledge on the left side of the infield. DJ LeMahieu at second base. Justin Morneau, the veteran, is the first baseman, Willeen Rosario, behind the plate. The Lexus starting pitcher, Brett Anderson, we saw him last week at Wrigley. He was really good in that start. Very impressive stuff. For the year, he's made 7 starts. Missed a big chunk of time on the DL. 1-3 with a 3.12. He's an extreme ground ball pitcher on a 2-seam fastball. It's good breaking stuff. Not a hard thrower, but he's a good one.
So let's get the umpires working the plate tonight. Will be veteran Marty Foster. Rob Drake is at first. Chris Guccione at second, and the crew chief Joe West over at third. And if tonight's Cubs leadoff man gets a hit, Benny's Beverage Depot will donate $100 to JDRF. It's Alcantara in that leadoff spot tonight. Much needed off day yesterday with a long week, especially for the bullpen last week, and we're underway. A fastball for a strike on Alcantara. The Cubs went 5-2 last week, including winning 3 of 4 against the Rockies at Wrigley Field. There's a topper handled by Josh Rutledge as shortstop, and the throw is in time.
They expect to see a lot of ground balls with Anderson on the mound. He's tough to run on as well. And here's the play by Rutledge, who's become the primary shortstop with Troy Tulowitzki on the DL.
So a nice hand from the Cub fans in attendance for Baez, 21 years old, 6 feet, 190 pounds. Natural shortstop. He played that position exclusively until getting some experience at second base the last few weeks in Iowa, and a fastball missing for ball 1.
Yeah, played 16 games at second base, made a couple errors there, and all the reports are that he made a pretty smooth transition to the other side of second base.
Well, he's got a hitter's count here, 2-0 on the rookie.
Yeah, we know one thing for sure. He's going to take some big swings.
Anderson coming back quickly, and there is that big cut. He fouled it off himself. He's got some protection on that lead elbow. I noticed he was signing autographs with his left hand. I'll have to ask him about that later. Right-handed hitter and thrower.
Didn't have to be.
2-2.
Backdoor breaking ball. If there are any concerns that the position change would affect him offensively, 339 with a 763 slugging after making the move to second base.
And he stays alive, as Rosario did not hang on to it. Still 2-2. Rizzo on deck. Things can change, obviously, but it sounds like Baez is going to basically be in this number 2 spot against lefties and righties, at least for now.
Well, I'm sure what Ricky Renteria is thinking, that by slotting him after Alcantara and before Rizzo, he may see some fastballs. You put a speedy guy on first base, he might get some fastballs to swing at.
Swing and a miss out in front. So Anderson strikes him out. 2 away.
There are definitely holes in that swing. He strikes out a lot. His strikeout rate at AAA was right around 30%. So don't be surprised if he strikes out 1 out of every 3 at bats here at the big league level.
It was a good slider from Anderson to get him. So I got the first one out of the way, and here's Anthony Rizzo.
It's important not to peak too early. It's a wise veteran move by a young player.
Rizzo hits a ground ball to former Cub DJ LeMahieu, and Anderson with a quick 1-2-3 first inning on just 10 pitches. Travis Wood to the mound when we come back to Colorado.
That's a nickel, and that's a dime. Go ahead and keep them in your pocket. You won't be needing them with us. At Southwest, we keep our low fares simple. Because low fares should never mean low service. We don't charge you from A to B, we fly you from A to B. If it matters to you, it matters to us.
At the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event, you'll discover what happens when we break the rules. The rules that said a luxury car should be powered by gasoline only. We introduced the world's first luxury hybrid, and now 85% of all luxury hybrids on the road are Lexus hybrids. The result? The gold standard of luxury hybrids. And the only place you'll find it is at the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event. Lease the 2014 CT 200H for $299 a month for 27 months, and we'll make your first month's payment. See your Lexus dealer.
Now the Rockies Southwest starting lineup written out by Walt Weiss. They have the worst record in the National League. They've dropped 4 in a row and now 14 of their last 18. But again, they score a lot here. Charlie Blackmon is in left. Josh Rutledge in short. Nolan Arenado will play third and bat third. It's Justin Morneau, came off the DL last week in Chicago in the cleanup spot. Drew Stubbs is in center. Willeen Rosario the catcher. Brandon Barnes in right. No Cargo tonight. LeMahieu has struggled lately, and Anderson the pitcher bats ninth.
Key defense for the Cubs this evening. Lake in left, Alcantara center, Ruggiano right, third to first. We go Valbuena, Castro, Baez, Rizzo behind the plate, Wellington Castillo. Our Lexus starting pitcher, Travis Wood. It's been a good long while since he's had a W. Middle of June, 7-9, 5-10 through 22 starts. No decision last time out against the Rockies. He established a career high, however, with 11 strikeouts.
Facing a first-time All-Star, Charlie Blackmon. And he bunts.
He's out.
And he's out. Apparently he was out of the batter's box. That ball came up and hit him, and it was in fair territory, and Walt Weiss will come out and challenge Marty Foster on it. You do not see this happen very often. Hard to tell.
They're going to take a look at this one, I bet.
I think that's a tough call to make.
He's still in the box. It's very difficult for the home plate umpire to read that, right? He's looking right at the back of the batter runner.
So I believe that'll be a 2 unassisted because Castillo was the closest defender. Can't tell you the last time I saw that call made.
You know, it was kind of hard to see there in that replay too, as the ball gets lost in the white of the jersey. Is that not a challengeable play? Seems to me that'd be one they take a look at.
Might not be. Here's Rutledge. Tulowitzki still on the DL. Rutledge himself only had 1 trip to the plate in that 4-game set at Wrigley due to an upper respiratory infection. Two balls, no strikes.
Travis Wood 1-1 against the Rockies in his career with a 2.77 ERA. 4 starts, 1 relief appearance against the Rocks.
Yeah, I guess that's batter's interference, right? Which I don't think is subject to review. 1-out walk to Rutledge.
Rockies got to Wood early last start and gave up 1 in the first, 2 more in the second, then settled in, ended up allowing 4 runs on 8 hits in 6 innings with those 11 strikeouts that I mentioned. 2 walks, 1 of which was intentional. The walk rate has been significantly higher for Travis this year than last. Been a big part of his problem.
Here's Arenado, owner of a 28-game hitting streak earlier this season, and now Castillo will go out as Wood has missed on 4 in a row, 5 in a row now. So the Rockies have really scuffled on the road. They have the worst road record in baseball, 17-39. They're a game under at home. Started the year winning 16 of 22 here at Coors Field. They've gone 11 and 22 since. Fly ball right field. Ruggiano battling the sun here. As this game started at around 6:40 local time, so still a lot of sun in the outfield. 2 down. And it brings up Justin Morneau, the first baseman. Had a neck strain and came off the DL last week at Wrigley Field. Rutledge at first, 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the opening inning, and a foul back.
The Rockies 4-12 since the All-Star break. They've won once in their last 8 tries. After losing 3 out of 4 to the Cubs, they went to Detroit and were swept.
Knocked down by Castillo.
Defending the outfield here always presents some significant challenges. So much room to cover. You kind of have to pick your poison, what you're going to give, what you're going to take away. And you see Alcantara there shaded well towards left center for Morneau.
Well, the Cubs did not take BP because of the rain. They had to put the tarp on the field. I didn't notice. I don't think Alcantara was able to take a lot of balls off the bat. If he did, it was during extra BP in center. But the Cubs also want him to continue to get some ground balls at second, even though he's mainly going to play center with Baez now at second. They want him to lose the feel for being an infielder. Down the left field line, Lake will come over, and that ball will be out of play. Ricky told us before the game Baez could get a little time at short, but only if Castro needs a break. Remember, he did not start on Sunday, even though Castro did get a pinch hit appearance late. Speaking of Castro, he will take care of Morneau, and that will end the Rockies first after an inning from Denver. It's the Cubs nothing and the Rockies nothing.
It's on. The games are on. The coverage is on. The action is on the all-new SEC network. And it's all on Xfinity, where you get the most live college football, including the Pac-12 networks, the Big Ten network, and ESPN Goal Line, plus the X1 Sports app to experience it all like never before. You can't get all this with DirecTV. Enjoy the all-new SEC network on TV and on the go with Watch ESPN starting August 14th. On Xfinity, your home for the most live sports.
This summer,
I am in control now.
we have to eliminate his power source. Go get him.
How is this possible?
During the Ford Summer Spectacular, get 0% financing for 72 months on almost every 2014 Ford SUV and crossover. That's interest-free financing for 6 full years.
If you had $1 for every dollar car insurance companies say they'll save you by switching, you'd have like a ton of dollars. But how are they saving you those dollars? A lot of companies might answer or no comment. Then there's Esurance. Born online, raised by technology, and majors in efficiency. So whatever they save, you save. Hassle, time, paperwork, hair tearing out, and yes, especially dollars. Esurance. Insurance for the modern world. Now backed by Allstate. Click or call.
The city of Chicago has seen its share of impressive duos. Jordan and Pippen. Wood and Pryor. Taves and Kane. And now, another great duo makes their television debut on Comcast Sportsnet. The Cap and Haw Show. Weekdays at 9 on Comcast Sportsnet.
Starlin Castro, 7 hits over the weekend against the Dodgers. 2 starts, back-to-back 3-hit games, and then went 1 for 1 off the bench. Tweaked his back a little on a swing during that pinch hit at bat, but No problem. He was removed for a pinch runner. And he hits a ground ball to Rutledge at short.
Let's go back and take a look at Charlie Blackmon. An attempted bunt there in the first inning. If either of his feet are out of the box, he's out.
Because the ball was certainly fair, and I think they're saying the left leg.
Well, hit the leg, yeah. I thought it got him in the midsection first, but that looked like the first contact was made with the left leg.
Yeah, I think they got it right.
That'll teach you for trying to bunt.
Oh, 0-2 on Ruggiano.
Anderson throws both a slider and a curveball, uses the same grip, just changes his release a little bit. Always a challenge here at altitude with the breaking stuff. Pitchers complain they don't get the break on the curveball, the slider that they would elsewhere.
Second round pick of the Diamondbacks out of Stillwater, Oklahoma, back in 2006. Opening day starter for the A's last year. But he finished up the year in the bullpen, spent 4 months on the shelf with a stress fracture in his right foot. 1-2 to Ruggiano. They're going in. And it was up a little bit. Fifth start since April 12th at San Francisco when he broke his index finger on that left hand while hitting a ground ball. Very odd. 3-2. That deflects off his glove and it'll trickle into left field. That looked like an easy play for Rutledge, but Anderson couldn't help himself. He put out the glove, and Ruggiano might send him a Christmas card as a result.
Yeah, that ball had a little topspin on it. Anderson was not able to corral it. And you're right, if he lets it go, it's an easy play for Rutledge. See, that really throws the top hand, and that ball's got a lot of topspin.
Luis Valbuena takes a curve for a strike. He had a nice week. 3 home runs last week. 2 were game tires. He now has 10 on the year. If you just joined us, Javier Baez in his first career plate appearance struck out swinging in the first. Off the plate. And they'll get the double play. That'll go 6-3. That ball took Rutledge right to second base, and Anderson turns another double play against the Cubs.
What's up, George?
Massage chair, my little indulgence.
Dunkin' French Vanilla Swirl. My little indulgence.
Indulge in the sweeter, creamier taste of Dunkin's new French vanilla and hazelnut swirl coffees and lattes. Try one today. America runs on Dunkin'.
We know you have a choice when it comes to where you buy your car. Here at Arlington Acura, you're not just a customer. You're part of our family, the Bob Roman Auto Group family. Thanks to the customers just like you, we were awarded the 2013 Acura Precision Team Award for top level of customer satisfaction. Come see what everyone is raving about, and let us earn your business. Bob Roman's Arlington Acura, 1 block west of Route 53 on Dundee Road, or online at arlingtonacura.com.
Now's the perfect time to finish your big projects with the Menards 11% sale. There's never been a better time to save on everything you need. Get an 11% rebate on lumber and shingles, an 11% rebate on water heaters and filtration, 11% on storage buildings and landscaping supplies. Plus, don't forget paint and stain, power tools, doors, and lighting. Menards has everything you need to create the yard of your dreams. Hurry in. Sale ends August 9th.
Save big money at Menards.
Grandma, your biscuits are the best.
Oh, these are from Dunkin'. Granny, I have a life, you know. That's from me.
Dunkin's Chicken Biscuit Sandwich is a tender breaded chicken filet on a Southern-style biscuit. Grab one for $2.99 today. America runs on Dunkin'.
Cubs will celebrate the 80s the next homestand. The Tampa Bay Rays and the Milwaukee Brewers come in for 7 games. Make sure to visit WrigleyField100.com for all the planned 80s festivities. For tickets, go to Cubs.com today. That looks like Red Rocks. Chicago and REO Speedway. I can see there's JD doing his ab work.
Yeah, that was me earlier today. There's a baby with a hat.
You have not been to Red Rocks?
Have not.
Go. Please?
Right now?
No, not now. I don't care who's playing there. Just go. You will enjoy it. Drew Stubbs facing his former Reds teammate Travis Wood. I talked to him today. He said he really enjoys these matchups. They're good friends. He obviously played behind Travis in center field, so he's very familiar with his MO. And because they're tight, he said, I really want to beat them when we match up. 2-0. And this time he does. Line drive into center field for their first hit.
See if Walt Weiss tries to get a little aggressive with his base runners. His club has had a hard time scoring runs lately. They've struggled here in their own ballpark, as Len mentioned, for a good while now. Tough to run on Travis Wood. Less so this year than in the past, but still it's a bit of a challenge. Stubbs, though, would be one guy to look at in this lineup who might contemplate it. He's stolen 13 bases in 15 tries.
Yeah, they score 5.7 runs per game at home, 3.5 on the road. How about this?
They just need to schedule better. Their AD needs to get them a better schedule.
Their OPS as a team at home is .877. By far leading the majors. The second place team in terms of OPS in their home ballpark, the Blue Jays, .799. I mean, they're leading the pack by about 80 points.
Yeah, so the baseballs are stored in a humidor here. It's been going on for a few years now to try to cut down on the offense, but still such a hitter-friendly place.
Rosario with a base hit past a diving Valbuena, and the Rockies have 2 on with nobody out.
I heard a study once that the ball travels 18% faster here at altitude, whether it's in the air on the the sharply hit ball, so it gets through the infield quicker. Obviously flies out of here because of the altitude. That's why they had to build such a big ballpark. And for me, that's the biggest difference maker here, because they had to allow for the carry factor. The outfield is huge, and outfielders have a long way to run to track down balls, so singles turn into doubles, doubles turn into triples, bloopers falling in front of outfielders that would be caught in other ballparks.
Brandon Barnes takes ball 1.
Then you got the whole deal about the breaking pitch, the pitcher struggling with their breaking ball, and then of course the psychological factor for a pitcher coming in, especially making 1 or 2 starts a year here as a visiting player. You're like, I don't want to pitch at Coors Field. That's probably not the mindset you need to go out there with.
Good rip at that one. He fouled it straight back.
Every now and then you see a really, well-pitched, low-run game here. But for the most part, you come in here, you're thinking, it's going to be 8-6, 12-9.
Well, here's the other one. By way of, I guess, asking you a question. That's fair. A fair ball. Joe West with a little hesitation before making the call. And the Rockies are going to get 2 runs as Castro couldn't handle the throw. And the throw to third is in time. So Barnes got a little ahead of himself and makes the first out at third, but he does drive in a couple to make it 2-0. And Ricky's coming out, I think, to make sure that ball was actually fair. Although I don't know if this is challengeable because it was in front of Joe West, which I think is what he's telling him. You can only challenge a ball, I think, is hit at an umpire or behind him.
Yeah, and so a very quick conversation there, and Renteria headed back to the dugout. And interesting how this game works. Castro's misplay turns into an out as Barnes got a little overly aggressive, tried to go from second to third with nobody out.
All right, so here's the question.
Here's the question.
In the history of Coors Field, what would you imagine the approximate batting average on balls in play would be for everybody? Deep to right field. Ruggiano makes the catch on the warning track.
Well, I would say it's going to be 318.
330.
330.
So that's the other part of it, is because you have such spacious dimensions, you are rewarded as a hitter just for making contact.
Well, that's what a guy like Castro would thrive here, and he has in his career.
So I think ultimately strikeout pitchers are what you want in this ballpark, but most teams want strikeout pitchers anyway.
Yeah.
So
our pitchers and fleet-footed outfielders.
Anderson, fair into the right field corner. That's just his second major league hit, and both have been doubles.
And we can't blame that one on the ballpark. That's a double anywhere you play the game. One pulled right down the line like that. Same for Barnes, as a matter of fact. Pretty good looking swing there by Brett Anderson. Came into this game with an .077 batting average. Right on the line. Yeah, and so 330 here. Batting average on balls in play, probably over the course of while the Rockies have been the franchise has existed, probably somewhere between 290 and 305. I'm guessing that year by year, that's kind of where it runs. So that's a very significant difference.
And fouled off.
Anderson looked like he knew what he was doing here with this swing. Look at that. Good coil, throws the head, finishes high. It looks legit.
The answer to that question is overall, since 1995 when this park opened, and that includes Coors Field in the mix. We could try to separate it. 298. So yeah, pretty big difference. Ruggiano makes the grab to end the inning. But a two-run double by Brandon Barnes, who had a game-winning knock in Chicago last week, and it's 2-zip.
Today's the day to make a summer memory. The Lincoln Summer Invitation. See where your summer takes you. Get exceptional offers on the 2014 Lincoln MKX. Lease it now for $379 a month, or choose 0% APR for 60 months. You'll also want to test drive the first ever Lincoln MKC luxury utility.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced, or descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs.
Now these guys woke up ready to swing for the fences. They must have switched to those new Fruit of the Loom boxer briefs with no ride-up legs, helping them signal game on without their undies bunching up. After all, when you've got a 1,500-pound behemoth to roll up, it's nice to know your undies won't. These boxer briefs might not be the only reason the crowd's going wild, but with no ride-up legs, now that's a whole new ballgame.
Blue Shield of Illinois knows your 20s is your time. So go ahead and act your age. We're the smart choice for health insurance, and we're ready when you are. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all.
Welcome back. Rockies 2, Cubs no score. We head to the third. Next homestand, we celebrate the 80s this Friday. 3:05 first pitch. The Rays are in town. First 10,000 fans will receive an illuminating first night game Rick Sutcliffe bobblehead presented by Las Vegas. This is the 8th of 10 special Wrigley Field bobblehead giveaways. Visit Cubs.com to reserve your seat today. Stay hydrated.
I don't know if that's the right kind of hydration, but just to follow up on Coors Field baseball, that Brandon Barnes' running mistake is a bigger mistake here than it is elsewhere. You do not want to run out of an inning in this ballpark. Would have been 2-0 runner at third, nobody out. But the Rockies did not score after he was thrown out. Breaking ball is hit in the air to center. Stubbs on the move makes the catch. They get Castillo.
A rare ball in play in the air off Anderson.
So he got the 6-3 double play to end the top of the second. He got double play balls in each of the first 3 innings in that last start at Wrigley. Big smile from Junior when I said, well, you're back. The site of your 3-hit debut. He's got the ball from his first hit. Said he had the bat, but he's not quite sure where that is. You know, batting gloves, other things from that major league debut here on July 19th, 2013.
See if Anderson challenges him here with a heater. Jumped at it a little bit. I'm going to try to spin it. I'm going to throw him off speed stuff. They're going to try to keep it down around the knees. If he's able to lay off that, get himself into some fastball counts, he'll be able to have a chance to do some damage.
Here comes a 2-1, now 2-2. By the way, the roster move the Cubs made, and they selected Baez as they sent out Blake Parker. And has been on that ride back and forth between AAA and the big leagues all year. Full count, 3-2. Woods on deck. Owner of 3 home runs already this season.
Yeah, I was talking about the psychological impact of this ballpark and how most pitchers don't want to pitch here, but Travis Wood, he's such a good hitter, he probably relishes the opportunity to play in this ballpark.
So the Cubs with a more standard 7-man bullpen, at least for tonight. Kyuji Fujikawa might be activated at some point this week. And at that point, the Cubs undoubtedly will go back to 8 in the bullpen. They're going to have to watch his innings coming back from Tommy John surgery.
Well, now, right, it's just a matter of massaging the roster until we get to September, and then they can call people up and it no longer becomes an issue.
93 from Anderson. He gets a swing and a miss for his second strikeout of the night.
Well, Junior got some fastballs in that sequence. He had a 2-0 count. Went inside with a couple of heaters, and then this time Junior going up out of the zone to try to get into one.
Wood with a ground ball to Rutledge. And the Cubs go down in order for the second time in the first 3 innings. Anderson has faced the minimum with a 2-0 lead.
You know things will always change, so you need an airline airline that can change a ticket without charging a fee. An airline that does more and asks less. Where you need to be is just as important to us as it is to you. Hassle-free ticket changes. Just one of the many little things we can do to roll with you. If it matters to you, it matters to us.
Refreshment calls, Coors Light answers. Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
This summer,
Who's gonna stop me?
time is our enemy, and speed is our friend. You're up.
I'm on it.
Saving the world is what we do.
During the Ford Summer Spectacular, get 0% financing for 72 months on almost every 2014 Ford car. That's interest-free financing for 6 full years.
Tomorrow, the road trip out west continues for the Cubbies, where they'll take on Colorado's Rockies. Coverage begins at 7 with Cubs Pregame Live, presented by Fields Auto Group. Cubs, Rockies, tomorrow at 7 on CSN.
Tomorrow, Chris Sale goes for his 11th win. Coverage starts at 12:30. It's White Sox pregame live, presented by Lexus of Merrillville. White Sox hosting the Rangers tomorrow at 12:30 on Comcast Sportsnet.
A time now for you to tweet your photo using hashtag NorthsideFanPhoto for a chance to have it appear later in tonight's broadcast, brought to you by AT&T.
Beautiful setting for baseball and pretty much everything else. Foothills of the Rockies here in Denver.
That little guy's trying to steal some signs.
Rutledge, Arenado, and Morneau against the lefty Wood. Won't see Tulowitzki in this series. Michael Kadire on the DL. Carlos Gonzalez day-to-day with an ankle. Sounds like he is available to pinch hit tonight. In the air out into deep right center. And it'll be Ruggiano to make the catch for the out. Cargo. Cubs certainly not too unhappy that he's out of the lineup. He's always hit well against the Cubs uniform. And the Rockies haven't lost a series at home to the Cubs in 10 years. Arenado swings at the first one. And an infield pop-up. And it's the shortstop Castro to make the grab.
Balbuena had me deked.
I think Wood and Anderson here are kind of challenging each other to see who can work the fastest half inning.
Well, it's interesting. There's a lot of similarities. You know, left-handers that aren't power guys that work quickly. We know Wood can hit. We just found out that Anderson can hit a little bit.
Morneau lines out to the rookie Baez, who will bat second in the fourth, with the Cubs trailing 2-0.
It all comes down to this. Danny Walker at the plate. Bottom of the ninth. 2 outs.
Come on, Danny. This is it.
Walker digs in.
really wish I could finish this, but I'm so tired. Gotta get up in a few hours.
Stream your favorite movies with UVerse high-speed internet. With AT&T, the UVerse revolves around you.
Angie posts, ugh, this stupid AC in this stupid car. It only works on high. Hang tight, Angie, because the Honda Summer Clearance event is here. This Honda CR-V has awesome standard features, like a rear-view camera and Bluetooth. Want to borrow my brush? Thanks. Keep it.
Hurry in to get a great deal on a Honda, named Most Trusted Brand by KBB.com. The Honda Summer Clearance event is on now at your Honda dealer.
Jack Link's Jerky presents Hangry Moments.
Sorry, folks. Still waiting on that mechanic.
Jack Link's Jerky, the protein-packed way to feed your wild side.
Visit CSNChicago.com for great deals on your favorite team's merchandise. From jerseys and hats to autographed memorabilia and more. Outfit yourself in your favorite team's gear and visit the fan shop at CSNChicago.com now.
Well, when word got out yesterday that Javier Baez was coming up to the big leagues, Twitter blew up. Cub fans everywhere very excited about the debut tonight. Signing autographs for the young Cub fans before the game. Wearing number 9 as Alcantara takes a strike. 2-0 Colorado as we play the 4th. Javier struck out in his first at bat, and he's on deck.
Yeah, it's an interesting position he's in. I mean, Alcantara obviously preceded him here, but of the guys that have with the quote-unquote core 4, he's the first one to get here, and now we got a little injury issue with Anderson, it looks like. But so, you know, the fans have been waiting for these guys and been told, you know, be patient, be patient, be patient. And now Baez becomes the first guy to get to the big league, so expectations start to climb. I imagine there's going to be a bit of a media circus on Friday at Wrigley Field. So I think it was a great idea to bring him up, get him started here on the road.
That's it. Anderson is done. Didn't even give us a chance to tell you the Rockies tied a major league record tonight, at least in the last 100 years. Their 20th straight start by a lefty. We're thinking back.
Well, yeah, looks very walking. Back leg, something lower body, lower unit issue here for Anderson. This is a big break for the Cubs because he was dealing yet again.
Yeah, looks like lower back.
Yeah, I know that feeling. When you get out of bed every morning.
So Walt Weiss with an early call to his bullpen. We'll tell you who the new Rockies pitcher is when we come back.
We're trying to figure it out. Looking for
Sarah posts, nothing like walking 3 miles because my car broke down. Hashtag woohoo. That's a serious problem in those shoes, Sarah. Let's find you something more dependable at the Honda Summer Clearance event. Like a Honda Accord with awesome standard features like a rear-view camera and Bluetooth. You can throw these away. I just went too far. I can tell by your face.
Hurry in to get a great deal on a Honda, named Most Trusted Brand by KBB.com. The Honda Summer Clearance event is on now at your Honda dealer.
Hi, can I help you?
I'm looking for a phone plan. It has to be a great one, and I don't compromise.
Okay, how about 10 gigs of data to share, unlimited talk and text, and for a family of 4, it's $160 a month?
Wow, sounds like a great deal. So, I'm getting exactly what I want then.
Appears so.
Now, I'm not too sure what to do with my arms right now, because this is where I usually start throwing things.
Oh, that's terrifying.
AT&T's best ever family pricing. For instance, a family of 4 gets 10 gigs of data with unlimited talk and text for $160 a month.
At GMC, the summer sell-down is on. Now get the best selection of remaining 2014 GMC Sierra models while they last. And with 2 years of scheduled maintenance included, August is a great time to step up to professional grade. Pay no interest for 5 years on the 2014 GMC Sierra. Plus, for limited time only, get $1,000 for crew cab models in stock the longest. But hurry, these 2014 GMC models won't last long.
Back here in Denver, the Cubs and the Rockies, and Brett Anderson with a 2-0 lead, leaving due to some sort of injury. Back, hip, core, not quite sure. It'll be another left-hander, Franklin Morales, and now just playing catch with Willeen Rosario. Time for our lows never stop improving. Javier Baez got off to a slow start. See what he did in April. Middle of May, he was at 142, but hitting 305 since, and on Sunday hit 2 home runs.
Yeah, power numbers really taking off as the weather heated up and he settled in a little bit. You know, he swings and misses a lot, but he'll take his walks. Franklin Morales has been used as both a starter and a reliever this year, so he's certainly stretched out, capable of working multiple innings here. There is a platoon advantage to be had in a situation like this, because with a lefty starter, the Cubs have all their left-handed hitters on the bench for the most part. Most of their left-handed hitters and a lot of right-handed hitters in the lineup. Sometimes if you have options, you know, on long relief, you'd prefer to go to the right-hander here because you got all the right-handed bats that the Cubs have in the lineup.
So Morales just moved back to the Rockies bullpen. Johan Flande will replace him and make the start on Thursday. And still just playing catch, not even yet on the mound. Earlier today, got some thoughts from Starlin Castro, who, by the way, took Javier Baez out to dinner last night after he arrived here, getting ready for his big league debut. And here's what Starlin had to say.
I think I'm really happy for him. He called me yesterday when getting, and I take it from dinner. We go dinner together, yeah, and we having fun. You know, I think it's gonna be fun for him and fun for me to play together, and it's gonna be a great team really soon. Yeah, we talk in the game, we talk in practice, we talk in everything. I think it's gonna be really good to have him here. You know, the work with him, the play with him. I think it's gonna be 2 months really fun.
You expect that he'll maybe struggle a little bit, at least early, getting used to him?
I don't know. I think it's not for him. I think he have a great talent. I think he can be good right away. You know, I think that's what I think. You know, they can be good right away. He don't need like a time or be good at this level, but I think it's gonna be good right away, and hopefully happen like that.
You sensed that he was ready because Sunday you said, I hope he's here soon.
Yeah. No, I don't even know. I know the next day that I go in the computer or whatever and I see it, and wow, I say something they good and they're coming out right away. Like I said, I'm really happy for him. They have him here. I think of this team, this young talent that we have.
So what's next? What do you want next?
Who, Soler? They have to bring it too. There's Brian. They bring those guys right now, and next year we have a really young team, and we can be together and we can prove it, you know, because you know we got a lot of talent, we got a players that can play in this level, and I think it's gonna be good for us.
You got any wish for any pitching?
Starlin playing GM. He wants them all here now. Chatting before the game, and had a long chat with Carlos Villanueva. Carlos said he's really impressed with how Starlin and Anthony Rizzo have kind of slowly started to be a little more vocal in the clubhouse and talking to a lot of the younger players, because this is becoming their club.
Well, you know, it's Ricky Renteria talks about it a lot. Managers prefer to have some veteran guys in their clubhouse who can kind of help lead the way. Some clubs have it, some clubs don't, and if they don't, then it falls on the coaches and the manager to be, you know, to constantly be diligent. But you'd love to have your players also back you up, whether it's, you know, the way certain players approaching the game, or, you know, the way his body language, whatever it may be. And Ricky's hoping that Rizzo and Castro can be those guys, even though they're young players, haven't been in the league all that long. He's hoping that they can be those guys to help mentor this wave of young players that's coming along. Because frankly, we don't know what this roster is going to look like next year. How many of the guys that, those kind of semi-veteran guys, how many are going to be here? But we feel pretty comfortable that Castro and Rizzo are going to be here. So it's not just being vocal in the clubhouse. For me, that's a small piece of it. It's about how you approach the game and how you play the game every day. So it's how you go down the baseline on a routine ground ball to short. What kind of secondary leads do you take? Do you take advantage of a ball in the dirt? Are you always engaged in hustling and playing the game hard? That message a lot easier for Ricky Renteria to deliver if his other core guys that have been here a couple of years play that way.
Let's quickly hear from Anthony Rizzo on Javier Baez in his debut tonight.
Yeah, it's very exciting. It's a good step for everyone here, for the entire organization.
Did you make it down here?
No, it definitely did not. But obviously, playing in Colorado and facing lefties is a great time to start any power right-handed hitter's career. So hopefully he runs up with a few balls, gets a few hits early to relax himself.
So Morales now ready to work against Alcantara in a 1-strike count after Anderson had to leave due to injury. And we resume, and a fastball is in there for a strike.
Well, Morales, like Anderson, is a 4-pitch pitcher, fastball, curve, slider, change. Not the ground ball pitcher that Anderson is.
Right on cue, ground ball foul.
Yeah.
But that doesn't count because it was hit foul.
No, yeah. Well, Anderson came into this game with a ground ball rate of 60%, which is crazy high.
Wine in the 0-2, a curveball low and outside. Two and two. Low 90s fastball. He's got a cutter. Saw the curveball.
Velocity's down this year, according to Fangraphs. 3 miles per hour off what he was in 2012. A little better than a mile off what he was last year.
Stubbs will catch that liner for the first out. And here comes Baez for the second time. Born in Puerto Rico, went to high school in Jacksonville, Florida. And the pitch, it's a strike. Cubs minor league player of the year last year between Daytona and Tennessee. He led all of the minors with 111 RBIs, with 37 homers. Strike two.
And so at 60 minor league home runs between last year and this. And Morales been somewhat home run prone this year. He's allowed 19 home runs in 103 innings. Not predicting anything, just saying. The reputation is the fastest bat in the minor leagues. Draws comparisons to Gary Sheffield. Got that little waggle at the top that's reminiscent of Sheffield.
Ninth overall pick in the 2011 draft.
Big leg kick.
going up and in with some heat. And he hits a ground ball that's cut off by the Gold Glover Arenado, and he throws to first in time. So Baez 0 for 2.
Gold Glove winner last year, Arenado, as a rookie, only the second rookie third baseman to win a Gold Glove. Frank Malzone of the Red Sox back in the day did it. It's back when they only gave out one to all of Major League Baseball, one per position, I should say.
In there on Rizzo, who has slugged better against lefties and righties. By about 30 points. One and one. Inside. 2-0 Rockies on a double by Josh Rutledge in the second. Or Barnes, rather. Brandon Barnes with that double. Swing and a miss, 2-2.
Well, maybe not as quick as Anderson in terms of tempo, but Morales not wasting a lot of time out there either.
Job by Rizzo just to wait back and fight off that curve. Cubs have done some damage here. In the last month or so, they've had 15 games of at least 10 hits since July 1st. Most in the National League. They have only one here early on tonight. Rocketed foul. Still 2-2. Morales originally signed by these Rockies back in 2002. Out of Venezuela. The leap, the catch by LeMahieu. And Morales comes in, works a 1-2-3-4 after the Anderson injury. Still 2-0 Rockies.
I want to win. After 16 years in the big leagues, I know winning takes extra work, extra effort, extra dedication. I take 5-Hour Energy to help give me an extra boost of energy. Because to be my best, to go the extra mile, to win, takes extra energy. I'm Carlos Beltran. For that something extra, I take 5-Hour Energy.
At GMC, the summer sell-down is on. Now get the best selection of remaining 2014 GMC Sierra models while they last. And with 2 years of scheduled maintenance included, August is a great time to step up to professional grade. Pay no interest for 5 years on the 2014 GMC Sierra. Plus, for limited time only, get $1,000 for crew cab models in stock the longest. But hurry, these 2014 GMC models won't last long.
If you sign up for DirecTV's latest deal, prepare to be blindsided. Because they'll double your rate before you know it. And you'll find you're locked into a 2-year contract that could cost you over $3,000. That's why the smart choice is Xfinity. You can see all the best action in football all season long, with no surprises. Don't get blindsided by DirecTV. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
It's party of the century, and check this out. This is a Retro Toy Sunday. 1:20 start with the Rays. First 5,000 kids 13 and younger are going to take home a Cubs Rubik's Cube. Of course they are. Cubs.com, and also after the ball game, kids 13 and younger will get a chance to run the bases. Could you ever do the Rubik's Cube?
I did. I don't know if I don't think I ever got the whole thing. I got like 2 or 3 sides, but that was about it. How about you?
No, I didn't do very well with that. And I don't know, like directionally, spatially, I'm challenging a lot of things. So I'm guessing that's, I don't know what skill set you have to be good at that, but I don't have it. Patience, perhaps. Patience.
I do not possess it.
Patience, diligence, and a strong mind.
1 strike on Drew Stubbs. Bounce to the shortstop, Castro. 1 away. Bring up the catcher, Rosario. He singled and scored in the second. Just like Stubbs did. Both came home on the Barnes double.
A little mishandle in the outfield by Castro on the relay. Barnes tried to go to third base. They threw him out, and 2 batters later, the pitcher Brett Anderson rocked one into the right field corner. So that little over-aggressive base running play by Barnes cost the Rockies a run, perhaps more.
Ball 1 on Rosario. Big deal for Rosario over the weekend in Detroit. He got to meet his boyhood hero Pudge Rodriguez, who was being honored by the Tigers. They had a nice chat. He pops it up shallow right. Looks like Ruggiano will take it. Well, one thing we've noticed for night games, and it's not just Wellington Castillo, but a lot of catchers, they have what looks like nail polish on their fingers, but it's not. Those are decals, and I happened to put them on earlier just to show you that it's not actually nail polish. It's a company out of Los Angeles that makes them, and John Baker gave us each a pack of 100
game signs. Don't get crossed up.
Don't get crossed up. Now, I gave some signs. Did we record that?
It's the only
I'd be a terrible catcher.
Baseball, softball signal enhancement sticker. I'm going to wear these in a restaurant when you're trying to get the waiter's attention.
That's a good idea.
What do you got? Curveball.
Fastball.
A little sinker away. Uh-oh, pitch out.
Thankfully, they cut it off before I gave you another signal.
Now.
1-1 on Barnes. Here's the pitch. Sounded like he busted his bat as Lake makes a catch. Travis Wood settling in after those 2 runs in the second.
Say hello to live TV from Southwest. Turn your device into your television. Get more out of your flight with free live TV from Southwest and Dish. On the air, in the air with live TV.
Hi, can I help you?
I'm looking for a phone plan. It has to be a great one, and I don't compromise.
Okay, how about 10 gigs of data to share, unlimited talk and text, and for a family of 4, it's $160 a month.
Wow, sounds like a great deal. So I'm getting exactly what I want then.
Appears so.
Now, I'm not too sure what to do with my arms right now, because this is where I usually start throwing things.
Oh, that's terrifying.
AT&T's best ever family pricing. For instance, a family of 4 gets 10 gigs of data with unlimited talk and text for $160 a month.
At Lexus, we pursue groundbreaking advances in safety by taking our eyes off the road and focusing on drivers. Real people, real distractions, without real consequences. The result? Our gold standard of safety. And the only place you'll find it is at the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event. Lease the 2015 RX 350 for $399 a month for 27 months, and we'll make your first month's payment. See your Lexus dealer.
Follow Patrick Mooney, our Cubs insider, all season long on Comcast Sportsnet, brought to you by nationwide agent Jeff Vukovich. Visit Jeff at jeffvuk.com nationwide. is on your side. So the Javier Baez show has started here in Denver.
Yeah, about time, right? I feel like we've been talking about this guy since spring training, and now that he's here, he'll have 8 weeks to kind of prove himself, and I think Starlin will be a big part of his adjustment here after what Story did for him as a rookie. He took him out to dinner last night, so it'll be fun to watch those guys together.
And here is Castro leading it off. 2-0 Rockies, and Starlin went for a strike. Surprised it happened this early?
I think so, just in terms of, it feels like we've been asking the Baez question, every time we see, anyone from the front office. And if you listen to people over the weekend at Dodger Stadium, it sounded like there was no hurry, but I think that Javi really earned it the way he kind of turned it on in Iowa. And he's someone he's a gym rat. He was talking about how after games at Iowa, he'd like to go hit in the cage at like midnight. So
Castro strikes out. And I think there's an acknowledgement that he could struggle, and that's okay. I don't think there's an expectation that he'll struggle or that he'll be the best hitter in the league. I think they just want to see him face major league pitching. The Cubs are going to play a lot of teams in the race down the stretch. And talking to some guys in the clubhouse today, Wesley Wright, he said, I think it's good to bring up a kid in the middle of the season. He said, I think there's a lot of pressure when you start a season making your big league debut. So the guys I talked to, they thought to a man it was a good idea to bring him up now.
Those guys wanted him up here. I mean, it wasn't hard to find people, to give you quotes of saying, yeah, let's see what they got. And it was the same way asking them about Bryant today, that these guys know how talented they are. And Samardzija had been saying it since spring training of, you got to bring all your bullets to the big leagues, and we'll see what these guys got.
1-2 on Ruggiano. Hard hit grounder right to Arenado, makes it look really easy. 2 outs.
Well, the reality is, right, there's a greater chance that he struggled than there is that he'll just go off. I mean, it's possible, but yeah, the bottom line is he's going to gain valuable experience. He's going to face a lot of good big league pitching. He's going to have a chance to make that adjustment this year, so he doesn't have to make it next year.
Patrick, did he say Major League Baseball University? That was your lead. That's that story, the legend. So witnesses say he said it? Is that what we're hearing? And he says he didn't?
Someone told me that story years ago, that at a banquet for a prestigious banquet for Florida's best high school players, you're supposed to introduce yourself to the room, say your name and college choice, and he said Javier Baez, Major League University. He denied that happened, but the story was told with such specific details, and Cubs person was laughing about it. That
he should
own it.
Yeah. Even if he didn't say it, it's a good story. Well, he's in the university now. 2-0 Colorado in the 5th.
Chili's $20 dinner for 2, featuring fajitas with grilled chicken or new pork carnitas. Share an app and choose 2 delicious entrees, like our new fajitas. It's one of the many options on Chili's $20 dinner for 2. More life happens here.
The world's most refreshing beer meets a blend of natural citrus flavors, so you can squeeze the most out of summer. New Coors Light Summer Brew.
Ready to save the world?
The biggest event just got bigger.
Listening.
0% financing for 72 months on most Ford models.
Seems easy enough.
Only during the Ford Summer Spectacular sales event.
I'll drive.
Don't miss it. Now go get them. Just announced. Now get 0% financing for 72 months on select Ford vehicles during the Ford Summer Spectacular Sales Event.
Hi, I'm David Kaplan with a Coors Light Cold Hard Facts Sportsnet Central update. Join Pat Boyle, Mark Shanowski on Sportsnet Central tonight after our White Sox and Cubs coverage. We'll hear from Bears GM Phil Emery, who suspended tight end Martellus Bennett indefinitely today for conduct detrimental to the team. Javy Baez makes his Major League debut for the Cubs. It's all coming up later tonight. Now back to Len and JD at Coors Field.
Tonight at 10, do not miss Sportsnet Central, presented by GMC. Bears Martellus Bennett suspended. Reaction to the Javier Baez Cubs debut. See all that and more on Sportsnet Central tonight at 10, only on Comcast Sportsnet. Bounced foul by DJ LeMahieu.
So we spent a good while talking about what a good hitter's ballpark this is and how many high-run games you see here. And so far, the Cubs have one hit, went off the pitcher's glove. The Rockies have 4 hits that came in the span of 5 batters in the second inning. Other than that, nothing.
LeMahieu 0 for his last 20, but he came in with a 12-game home hitting streak. 1 for 17 on the year against the Cubs, a team he previously had a lot of success against his former team. Even with those recent struggles, hitting over 300 against Chicago. As Wood gets the side from Castillo with those pretty nails. And low. 2-2.
Hi.
We see you. Hello.
Hey.
Hi. Into his motion, the 2-2 is high. It's full. 3-2. Morales on deck.
Well, you talked about the importance of keeping things tight on the bases. Don't give away any outs. Same thing with walks. You don't want to walk people in this ballpark. You're going to give up enough hits anyway because of all the area, all the room out there.
And there is the dreaded leadoff walk in front of the pitcher, no less. He will be asked to lay down a bunt. Morales had his feet up, I'm sure, in the bullpen. All of a sudden summoned when Anderson got hurt, and he has faced 6 batters and retired all of them.
And the big challenge for a pitcher in that situation is to make sure you're ready. You come out and you take your warm-ups out on the game mound. You're told you have all the time you need.
He's got to go to first, so Morales gets it done. Baez covering. And we'll go 5-4.
But when you're out there taking your warm-ups, you get the sense that there's 30,000 people staring at you, kind of drumming their fingers, going, all right, pal, let's go anytime.
Blackman is 0 for 2. Season series will end in 2 days. 7 games over 11 days. Again, the Cubs won 3 of 4 at Wrigley Field last week. 2 of the games went to extras.
And 1 was extra.
Yeah, we went to what? Quadruple OT?
Mm-hmm. Yep. 6 hours, 27 minutes. Longest by time in both these teams' franchise history.
Buena makes the catch on the Blackman pop-up for out number 2.
Yeah, I was talking earlier about the comparisons with Wood and Anderson, and obviously not as relevant now that Anderson's out of the game. The big difference being Anderson's an extreme ground ball pitcher, and Wood is not. Wood gets a lot of outs in the air. Fly balls, and when he's at his best, a lot of little jam shot pop-ups.
Turned into a lovely evening here in Denver. We've got some late afternoon showers. It really cooled things off, about 15 degrees, but then it warmed up again into the mid-70s. And the 0-1 is shanked foul. Pitching matchup tomorrow will be Jake Arrieta and Jordan Lyles, who's scheduled to come off the disabled list. Kyle Hendricks, the rookie, on Thursday against left-hander Johan Flande. We'll have tomorrow night's game on Comcast Sportsnet, same time. So did you see the Pujols-Puig exchange last night?
Yep.
Curious to get your thoughts. So I hate to do it with 2 strikes and 2 outs. And the ball rolled into center. LeMahieu will score, and the Rockies cash in on the leadoff walk. Rutledge makes it 3-0.
Travis Wood more upset with himself with the walk than the RBI single.
So last night the Dodgers hosting the Angels, and late in the game with the Angels up 5-0. I think it was the 8th inning, right?
I'm not sure exactly when it was.
Yasiel Puig went back, caught a fly ball kind of on his heels in deep left center, and Albert Pujols tagged, went to second, kind of catching Puig off guard. And then there was another fly ball, and as it was hit, Puig was basically daring Pujols to try to run to third, kind of wagged his finger at him, and Pujols kind of made a gesture toward him.
Yeah, basically saying, what do you want me to do when you Cadillac that previous ball? I'm supposed to tag up in advance there.
That one softly lined in the left by Arenado. Back-to-back 2-out hits.
Yeah, and I don't know the nature of that. If it's just Albert having some fun with Puig, or if he's been trying to teach him a lesson, I don't know. And
well, Puig made the mistake.
And Puig also did the finger wag earlier.
He did.
He made a throw, and somebody didn't advance.
Back to first. Yep.
Yeah. So he did the Mutombo, no, you don't run on me thing. You know, that debate is kind of is out there now, isn't it? How much fun do you let guys have? It's showmanship, it's entertainment, fans like it, but there's also the side of the game that says that's not really, quote unquote, respecting the game.
High for a ball on Morneau.
I thought it was pretty cool back in the day when Bo Jackson would throw somebody out, and then he'd blow the smoke off the top of the pistol and put it back in the holster.
Here's our AT&T UVerse multi-view. 3-0 Rockies in the 5th. Outside for a ball on Morneau, 2-0. Yeah, well, didn't the Angels kind of mock Fernando Rodney's arrow thing earlier? So yeah,
I guess that's the thing. If you're going to be that guy that shoots the imaginary arrow and wags the finger, then you bring it on yourself. Yeah, you're gonna.
On the ground to Castro, a little bobble. But he still has time to get Morneau at first. Leadoff walk leads to an extra run for the Rockies, who now lead 3-0 at the end of 5.
posts. Ugh, this stupid AC in this stupid car. It only works on high. Hang tight, Angie, because the Honda Summer Clearance event is here. This Honda CR-V has awesome standard features like a rear view camera and Bluetooth. Want to borrow my brush? Thanks. Keep it.
Hurry in to get a great deal on a Honda, named Most Trusted Brand by KBB.com. The Honda Summer Clearance event is on now at your Honda dealer.
It all comes down to this. Danny Walker at the plate, bottom of the ninth, 2 outs.
Come on, Danny, this is it.
Walker digs in.
Whew. Really wish I could finish this, but I'm so tired. Gotta get up in a few hours.
Stream your favorite movies with UVerse high-speed internet. With AT&T, the UVerse revolves around you.
Jay Cutler can be an elite NFL quarterback.
I guess so, if elite is being top 15, 16 guys in the league.